Caracal cats, with their striking appearance and majestic tufted ears, have captured the imagination of many exotic pet enthusiasts. Their sleek bodies, large, expressive eyes, and wild demeanor make them appear as the ultimate feline companion. However, owning a Caracal cat is not like having a domestic pet, and many prospective owners may not fully understand the challenges and responsibilities that come with such an exotic animal. Before you make the decision to bring a Caracal into your home, it's important to consider the various factors that make these animals unsuitable for most households. In this video, we explore 10 compelling reasons why a Caracal cat might not be the right pet for you. Number 1. High energy and space requirements. Caracals are wild animals by nature, and they possess a level of energy that far exceeds that of any domestic cat. These cats are built for the wild, where they need to cover large territories, hunt, and stay active to survive. As a result, they require a significant amount of space to roam and exercise. Confining a Caracal to a typical home environment can lead to frustration and destructive behavior. In a domestic setting, meeting the Caracal's space and exercise needs can be incredibly challenging. They are not content with a small yard or a few toys. They need vast, secure outdoor enclosures that allow them to run, climb, and explore. Without this, Caracals can become bored and anxious, leading to behavioral issues such as aggression or escape attempts. Additionally, the high energy levels of a Caracal mean that they require constant mental and physical stimulation. Keeping them engaged and satisfied is a full-time job, often requiring the owner to invest in expensive equipment, enclosures, and plenty of time to dedicate to their care. This level of commitment is beyond what most pet owners can provide. Number 2. Complex dietary needs. Caracals are obligate carnivores, meaning their diet must consist primarily of meat to meet their nutritional needs. In the wild, they hunt and consume a variety of prey, including birds, rodents, and small mammals. Replicating this diet in captivity is difficult, expensive, and time-consuming, and it is far more complicated than simply feeding a Caracal commercial cat food. To keep a Caracal healthy, owners must provide a diet that mimics their natural feeding habits, which often involves sourcing whole prey items such as rabbits, quails, and other animals. This can be both ethically and logistically challenging, especially for those who do not have access to a reliable source of such foods. Additionally, improper diet can lead to severe health issues, including malnutrition, obesity, and dental problems. Furthermore, the process of preparing and storing raw meat or whole prey can be unpleasant and requires strict hygiene practices to avoid contamination and the spread of disease. The commitment to providing a proper diet is not only a matter of cost, but also one of time and effort that most pet owners are not prepared to handle. Number 3. Legal restrictions and permits. Owning a Caracal cat is not legal in many places. Due to their status as wild animals, many countries, states, and municipalities have strict laws governing the ownership of exotic pets, including Caracals. These laws are in place to protect both the animal and the public, as Caracals can pose a risk if not properly managed. In regions where ownership is allowed, acquiring a Caracal often requires a special permit. The process of obtaining this permit is often rigorous, involving background checks, facility inspections, and proof of ability to care for such an animal. Even with a permit, owners may face ongoing legal obligations, including regular inspections and adherence to strict care standards. Moreover, laws regarding exotic pet ownership can change, and what is legal today might not be tomorrow. Owners could face the heartbreaking prospect of having to surrender their Caracal if regulations become stricter. The legal complexities and potential risks associated with owning a Caracal are significant deterrents that must be considered. Number 4. Behavioral challenges. Caracals, despite being raised in captivity, retain much of their wild instinct and behavior. These animals are not domesticated like house cats, and their natural behaviors can be difficult to manage in a home environment. For example, Caracals are highly territorial and may display aggression towards other pets or even people, particularly if they feel threatened. Training a Caracal to coexist peacefully with humans and other animals is an immense challenge. Unlike domestic cats, they are not naturally inclined to use a litter box or follow household rules. They may engage in behaviors such as marking territory with urine, scratching furniture, and refusing to obey commands. These behaviors can be frustrating and difficult to control, even for experienced pet owners. Additionally, caracals are known for their hunting prowess, and this drive does not diminish in captivity. They may stalk and attempt to hunt small animals, including pets such as birds, rabbits, or even small dogs. This predatory behavior can create a dangerous environment for other household pets, making it nearly impossible to safely house a caracal alongside them. Number 5. Potential aggression and danger. Caracals are wild animals, and with that comes an inherent risk of aggression and danger. Even when raised in captivity, caracals can exhibit unpredictable behavior, especially if they are frightened, stressed, or feel cornered. Unlike domestic cats, whose bites and scratches might be minor, a caracal's claws and teeth are designed to kill prey, and they can inflict serious injuries on humans. Owners must be constantly vigilant and aware of their caracal's mood and behavior to prevent dangerous encounters. This level of attention can be exhausting and stressful, especially in a household with children or visitors who may not understand how to behave around a wild animal. The potential for harm is a significant risk factor that should not be underestimated. Furthermore, even if a caracal is generally well behaved, their size and strength alone can pose a risk. A playful swipe or bite can lead to serious injuries, and the consequences of a caracal becoming aggressive can be severe. These animals require respect and caution, and the potential for aggression makes them unsuitable for most pet owners. Number 6. Long lifespan and commitment. Caracals can live up to 20 years in captivity, which represents a long-term commitment that many prospective owners may not fully appreciate. This lifespan requires an owner to be dedicated to providing consistent, high-quality care for the duration of the animal's life, which can span several decades. As the caracal ages, their needs will change, potentially becoming more complex and expensive. Veterinary care for exotic animals is not only costly but also specialized, requiring owners to have access to vets with specific experience in caring for wild cats. The time, energy, and financial resources needed to care for a caracal over its entire lifespan can be overwhelming. Moreover, life circumstances change, and what may seem manageable at one point in life may become a burden later on. Owners must consider the long-term implications of caring for a caracal, including what would happen to the animal if they could no longer provide the necessary care. Rehoming a caracal is not as simple as rehoming a domestic pet, and the options for placing an adult caracal are extremely limited. Number 7. Lack of socialization with humans. Caracals, by their nature, are solitary and independent animals. Unlike domestic cats, which have been bred over generations to live with humans, caracals have not undergone the same socialization process. This means that even caracals raised from a young age by humans may never fully acclimate to human interaction in the same way that a domestic cat would. This lack of socialization can result in a caracal being aloof, indifferent, or even hostile towards its owner. They may not enjoy being petted or handled, and attempts to interact with them may be met with resistance or aggression. This can be particularly disheartening for pet owners who are seeking a companion animal. Furthermore, the inability to form a close bond with a caracal can lead to frustration and disappointment for the owner. The relationship between a caracal and its owner is often more akin to that of a caretaker and a wild animal than a traditional pet-owner relationship. This can result in a less fulfilling experience for those who are looking for a pet that is affectionate and engaged. Number 8. Impact on local ecosystems. Introducing a caracal into a non-native environment can have significant ecological consequences, especially if the animal were to escape or be released into the wild. Caracals are apex predators, and in a new environment, they could disrupt local ecosystems by preying on native species that are not adapted to deal with such a predator. The introduction of a non-native species like a caracal can lead to a decline in native wildlife populations, as these animals might prey on vulnerable species of birds, small mammals, and other local fauna. This impact can have a ripple effect throughout the ecosystem, leading to unintended and potentially devastating consequences. Additionally, there is a risk of caracals spreading diseases to local wildlife or domestic animals. Exotic pets often carry parasites or diseases that can be transmitted to native species, further threatening local ecosystems. The ecological impact of owning a caracal is a serious consideration that extends beyond the individual pet owner to the broader environment. Number 9. Ethical concerns. There are significant ethical concerns associated with keeping a wild animal like a caracal as a pet. These animals are not domesticated and have complex needs that are difficult to meet in a home environment. Keeping a caracal in captivity often involves depriving it of its natural behaviors and environment, leading to stress and a lower quality of life. The process of breeding and selling exotic animals like caracals for the pet trade raises further ethical issues. Many of these animals are taken from the wild or bred in conditions that are not humane. The demand for exotic pets can fuel illegal wildlife trafficking, which has devastating effects on wild populations and conservation efforts. Moreover, the concept of owning a wild animal for personal enjoyment is inherently problematic. Caracals are not pets in the traditional sense, and their ownership often prioritizes human desire over the welfare of the animal. This ethical dilemma is something that all potential owners should seriously consider before acquiring a caracal. Number 10. Limited veterinary care. Veterinary care for caracals is both specialized and limited. Not all veterinarians are equipped or willing to treat exotic animals, and those that do often charge high fees due to the complexity and risks involved. Owners of caracals must be prepared to travel long distances to find a qualified vet and to pay significant sums for routine and emergency care. Furthermore, the health issues that caracals may face are often more complex than those of domestic pets. Diagnosing and treating these issues requires specialized knowledge and equipment, which may not be readily available. In some cases, owners may struggle to find adequate care for their pet, leading to prolonged suffering or even death. The lack of access to appropriate veterinary care can also result in inadequate treatment and misdiagnosis, which can have serious consequences for the animal's health. The challenges associated with finding and affording proper care for a caracal are significant and should not be underestimated by anyone considering bringing one into their home. Conclusion. While the allure of owning a caracal cat may be strong, it is crucial to understand the many challenges and responsibilities that come with such an exotic pet. From their high energy levels and complex dietary needs to the legal, ethical, and safety concerns, caracals are not suitable for most households. Potential owners must weigh these factors carefully and consider whether they can truly provide the environment and care that a caracal requires. For most people, the answer will be that these beautiful wild cats are best admired from afar, rather than kept as pets.